To explore the mysteries of death, 5 college students decide to conduct a daring experiment. They take turns lying in a dilapidated church, entering a state of death. The first to experiment is the mastermind of the plan, Alex. His challenge time is 1 minute. After his friends strike him hard enough, his heart stops and his consciousness enters a strange realm. Initially, it feels warm and heavenly, with children's laughter filling the air. But suddenly, the sky darkens, transforming into a hellish scene. Alex's last memory is of a child's face. Just then, the allotted time is up and his friends pull him back from the brink. After being revived, Alex initially shows no abnormality. His senses become incredibly sharp, even hearing insects from 100 meters away. However, at the edge of his vision, a crawling dog appears, a creature also present in his death memory, but in 2 extreme states. This eerie phenomenon quickly fades, so Alex doesn't dwell on it. The others eagerly join the experiment. Next up is the thin and lanky Josh, with a challenge time of 1 minute 30 seconds. Obsessed with voyeurism and recording, his death vision is filled with vivid, erotic scenes. If not for the state of death, it would have been arousing. Revived on schedule without any negative effects, the group's fears are completely dispelled. Next is Ryan, who undertakes the experiment not for thrills but for medical insights and to prove his atheism. His challenge time is 2 minutes 30 seconds, half of the critical 5-minute death threshold. Ryan's journey begins as a beam of light swiftly moving through majestic landscapes. Suddenly, a young black girl appears in his vision, followed by a hazy childhood memory. The next thing he knows, he's being pulled back by his friends after nearly 4 minutes of resuscitation efforts. At this point, Alex encounters some inexplicable phenomena. He discovers a horrifying sight at home, footprints on his pristine bedsheets. He feels as though he's being beaten and spat on by the boy from his death memory. This spectral boy haunts him incessantly, leaving Alex to hide and nurse his wounds in secret. When his friends inquire about his injuries, he remains silent. Josh, the second to undergo the death experiment, faces similar struggles. Obsessed with sexual exploits and recording them, he cruelly abandons the girls after satisfying his twisted desires, recording everything to save her later. After his journey through the realm of death, he constantly sees the girls he wronged chasing him, seeking revenge. These terrifying visions push him to the brink of insanity. Meanwhile, Ryan also encounters something terrifying after completing his death experiment. In his death dream, the black girl reappears in a tunnel, relentlessly mocking and cursing him with every F word. Although this state doesn't last long, upon returning to reality, Ryan immediately realizes it must be an after effect of the experiment. He rushes to the church to stop his friends from further experiments, but arrives too late. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Ryan immediately terminates the experiment and begins resuscitation. Emma's consciousness travels back to her childhood, recalling a time she mischievously entered a forbidden room. Her father, unable to face the consequences, ultimately committed suicide. Emma has long blamed herself for her father's death. Although she is revived at the brink of the 5-minute mark, her father's haunting figure never leaves her. She sees him in moments of solitude, his vengeful presence following her even during clinical dissection experiments at school. Experience severe after effects from the death experiment. They decide to come clean with each other. Alex admits to bullying the boy in his vision.
Ryan acknowledges tormenting the girl from his vision during childhood.
Josh confesses to breaking hearts and exploiting his partners. Emma's father's suicide was a result of her accidental intrusion. The horrors in their nightmares all stem from deep-seated guilt, essentially their comeuppance. Unable to resolve these spectral issues, their fears only intensify. Alex locks himself in his house, waiting for his nightmare to arrive. The red-clad boy appears, overpowering Alex with terrifying strength, a consequence of his childhood actions. Unlike Alex, Ryan does not despair. He believes in facing his demons and finds the girl from his vision, now a successful woman with a family, who forgives him without hesitation.
Thank you. Are you sure?
Meanwhile, Alex experiences another haunting in the car but is saved by Ryan. Though Ryan can't see the boy, he stops Alex from self-harm. Returning to the group, Ryan shares his solution, seeking forgiveness to end the nightmares. Josh concurs, having been freed from his torment after his girlfriend discovered and left him over his voyeuristic habits. Not long ago, his girlfriend unexpectedly discovered his perverse hobby and broke up with him. After Josh sincerely repented, his nightmares vanished. Similarly, that night when Emma's retribution reappeared, she chose not to escape or be fearful, but to confront the root of the problem. With a change in mindset, the scene transformed. She saw her father, a soldier, injecting poison. Perhaps her father couldn't face the fact that his daughter idolized him. The two embraced tightly years later. At that moment, Emma's nightmare turned into a beautiful dream. At this point, 3 out of the 4 had resolved their issues, but Alex couldn't let go until his friends saw the boy's gravestone and understood why. It turned out that when Alex and his friends bullied the boy in the red shirt as a child, they accidentally caused him to fall from a tree. Even though a dog broke his fall, both the boy and the dog died. So, for Alex to seek the boy's forgiveness in reality seemed impossible. However, he had one last plan. To apologize to the dead boy face to face, Alex knew he had to be dead too. His only option was to undergo the death experiment again. As Alex entered the dreadful dream again, he found his role reversed with the boy in the red shirt, experiencing the bullying the boy had suffered. Alex fell hard to the ground, motionless. Meanwhile, Ryan and the others arrived at the church just in time. Alex had been in a state of death for 10 minutes. Desperate, they tried every unconventional method they could think of, and miraculously, at the 12-minute mark, Alex revived. In the shared dream, Alex awoke to see the boy and the dog standing before him. Alex faced them without fear and sincerely apologized. The boy in the red shirt didn't speak, but his expression softened into a smile. Though he didn't explicitly say he forgave Alex, perhaps the smile meant all was forgiven. Having resolved his nightmare, Alex returned to reality, bringing the story to a close.
Today's a good day to die.
Remember to subscribe and like the video. Your support is my motivation to keep making videos. See you in the next movie.